picks and bans for game number 1 here between these two teams. And we'll see what the bans end up being. There's a Nidalee ban against Eve. He has been one of the better Nidalee junglers for quite a while in this league.
Yeah, does draw a lot of the Nidalee bans. We're seeing that increasingly against the good Nidalee players like Chaser and Eve in this league. If you can't play it yourself, people don't want to have to deal with her presence in the early game and the ability to build a poke comp around here. So Gragas is also going to be banned, and we'll see if Ketch is still going to try and maybe go for that jungle Echo, a champion that he likes to play. And, of course, the Rek'Sai ban against Samsung, that is very typical. And Ribbon.
Wow, so Soar already drawing a ban here in his first game, his debut game here in the booth.
Now, Sivir and Annie are both up, though. You have to believe that with the Evelynn first pick, that Samsung's going to want to pick up both of those champions. They are power picks at the moment. They could take the Maokai for Kuve, of course.
Yeah. Well, Catch has played a bit of Eve, not a ton of it. Look at that. They are going for these here. Yes, I was hoping they'd try it. The gauntlet has been thrown.
Oh, jeez.
The gauntlet has been thrown down.
Now, you can see the SBENU players having a giggle in the booth right now as they hover over that Vel'Koz. But since Samsung got the Maokai, they have a targeted engage onto the Vel'Koz. So
True.
Maokai, basically, it would be difficult, I think, to pull it off because Samsung could also just pick up Annie here, Annie and Sivir again, and that would make it really dangerous to play Vel'Koz.
You can poke just as well with Ezreal. The only problem is you just don't have the wave clear that Vel'Koz provides.
Yeah, especially early on.
Yeah.
So will the Ezreal be the lock-in here? Would be a safer pick and is a flex pick. We saw SK Telecom flexing that pick yesterday into the AD carry role when they saw that Yasuo and got a bit nervous.
Well, it's going to be Hecarim and Sivir. And that makes sense. Those picks are probably stronger, and they don't need to pick their mid laner just yet. They can still give it some thought. Corki for Fury, though, would make a nice poke comp. They'd have a decent amount of siege between him and Azir.
Yeah. And Eve could take that Echo in the jungle.
Yeah.
Even though Echo was nerfed on 5.12, he still is a very viable jungle pick, I feel. Definitely not top tier, but strong enough.
I suppose.
I think you just take the Annie here. Why not just take the Annie and go for the really big hard engage? Now, SBENU is drafting a comp that has high damage to the back lines. Of course, the Evelynn and Hecarim, two of the best flanking champions in the game. So they have to be very careful about how they're going to protect their back line.
And even SBENU probably won't do as bad of a job as CJ did when they tried to play Evelynn Hecarim.
Oh, jeez, that was terrible against Janair.
It was painful. Oh, man. Looks like it will be Echo in the jungle and Corki for Fury here. And what are the last picks going to be for SBENU? They can still go with that Ezreal, I suppose.
I think Ezreal is a perfectly fine choice here.
Vel'Koz is way too dangerous now, though.
The Annie is the big question mark, and that's why if they have Maokai Annie, I would be very afraid to play the Vel'Koz, but maybe they're just going to take a gamble with it all the same. I don't think we're going to see nerfed LeBlanc.
You never know, but probably not. Soraka or Braum, which is it going to be? Probably neither.
I want to see more Vel'Koz. I don't care.
I do too. Yeah, I already said it. I just want to see him play Vel'Koz.
It's probably going to play Ezreal, though. It's a much safer pick here.
Still. Come on, Sasson. Don't be afraid. Yes. Yes. He's not afraid.
It's back. So that early lock, we'll have to see how it does. Now, if you're Samsung, you need a heavy engage support right here just to help to shut down the Vel'Koz.
Oh, Annie would be perfect.
Yes, Annie would be quite lovely indeed.
What about Alistar's banned, so not Alistar. So, yep, Annie. So they do, I guess Braum can sort of peel for Vel'Koz with his ult, sort of.
SBENU's strategy this game with this composition is they just want to get into the back line and do work. Wow. I mean, this would be putting a lot of emphasis on Kuve to actually get the W down onto Vel'Koz, which of course isn't that hard to do, but I would prefer some sort of backup plan here, as it were, even though you're not going to have a lot of peel for the Evelyn and the Hecarim flanks in your back line. I think you just go all in and see what you can get done.
I agree. Looks like they're going to let this Thresh lock in, though. Yeah, they will. Okay. Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, you can certainly hook Vel'Koz and cause trouble for him there, too, as well, I suppose.
Basically, SBENU's strategy, they don't really have a lot of appeal for this Vel'Koz, but the entire point is that they're going to have such a beefy front line, and Sivir standing well in advance of Kog'Maw as well. So just get put up so much frontline threat that they actually can't get back to the Vel'Koz is going to be the plan.
Yeah. I suppose that does make sense. And you will have super fast Vel'Koz with the Sivir ultimate as well, too.
Yes, you will.
For what it's worth.
Well, for peeling and for kiting, that's actually quite good. So we are going to see Sasen's return to the Vel'Koz. Samsung must have known that this was a possibility.
You know, I could see an option, too, where in a team fight, you know, you have the flanks coming in from Eve and Hecarim. You have Braum just throw his ult down the middle. Sivir runs in as well, and Vel'Koz just sits back ulting everybody.
Yep. That's the idea, is it's going to be peeling through aggression this time. If SBENU is coordinated enough to throw a massive attack at Crown and Fury in the back line, they're not really going to have a lot of time to deal with an ulting Vel'Koz. And it's going to be interesting to see how SBENU actually plays this out. Samsung, obviously, with a much more standard composition. They have decent peel for Fury and for Crown. And can they keep the back line safe?
We'll find out. First game, SBENU versus Samsung. Let's see who takes it. All right, welcome to Summoner's Rift. SBENU Sonicboom versus Samsung Galaxy in our first game of the day here. In our only best of 3, just one today. Back to 2 again tomorrow.
A single best of 3 on Thursdays.
Yep, best of 3 Thursdays.
At a very early time for those of you.
Yeah, which is
America.
Good. It's like, what, midnight now or something?
Oh, no, it's way earlier than that.
Oh, well, see, you know how you can get around the time zones, just come to the studio like those guys did. That's smart. They're the smart ones. Just come to the studio. Makes it much easier. I'm just glad we get to see Vel'Koz today.
Me too. So just going to check the brush right there. Wraith is going to get hit by the Winter's Bite, but not going to slow him up too much. Wow, Nuclear gets found in a brush. Okay.
Huh. Just stick around and take some damage, I guess.
Yep. Just trading with Fury, but that Phosphorus Bomb does do a lot more damage than the Ricochet early. And so now...
See, they came to the studio, too. Intelligent.
Yeah. Why are you sitting at home when you could be buying a plane ticket to Korea right now?
Exactly. Easy choice. IMO.
There's also great food here, so...
Yeah. There's a lot of things to do besides esports.
Unfortunately, it is super hot right now.
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse over the next month or two, too.
You know, like monsoon season, duh?
Yep, I don't.
I don't think anybody does.
Nope. I'm trying to think of someone who might like monsoon season now, and I can't think of anyone.
All right, so 2 sapling stacks onto the Raptors means that Crown does get a very slight experience advantage. We are going to see standard lanes in this matchup so far. And just some double jungling, of course, with Cuvée and Eve in their top side, and the SBENU jungle and top lane also doing the same thing. So we'll see how Soar does in his professional debut.
Yeah, I just want to see how Crown is able to handle Sasen's Vel'Koz because, I mean, like you mentioned, we saw that SKT game, and Sasen did extremely well against Faker's Azir.
Yeah,
so
Faker is not the best Azir player, it's true, but he is a good one. And that is scary that SBENU would get this matchup. I just assumed that Samsung, if they were going to be early picking the Azir, would ban the Vel'Koz. But bit weird, I have to say.
Well, some pretty heavy trading going on down in bot, but everybody's got potions. And Catch will just go ahead and continue farming, too.
Yeah, just going to be a nice and slow, even start here.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
As of going to be our first Braum game in a little bit, too. Braum played occasionally here. Nice shield from Nuclear on the hook. Braum played occasionally, but not used too often. It's so weird that Annie made it through picks and bans in this game. That bucks a trend that we were seeing earlier on. And
Annie would be very good, too, for Samsung right now. So it's kind of doubly puzzling.
I think they just wanted more peel for Fury. They know that Fury's damage output is very important to the success of this team, and he wasn't going to offer that. I agree with you. I think you just kill Sasan and be done with it, but
yeah.
The Thresh, I'm trying to rationalize it here, and they do have a good form of engage with Maokai already. So
speaking of engages, we might see Ketch try to make something happen here in the bot lane with this lane gank. And Wraith, oh, there we go. Flash immediately used by Wraith. So a summoner taken by SBENU. Nice little start there.
Yeah, not sure that flash was entirely necessary. He was, of course, worried about getting that stun. But I'm not sure there was going to be enough real follow-up to actually trigger the stun right there. Just playing very safely, very cautiously.
Yep. Wave clear helping for Sasan, but Crown maintaining a bit of a CS lead so far.
However, Sasan did end up taking over this matchup and really getting a pretty significant CS advantage once he started getting some points, more points in his W. Your wave clear is just so good at that point in time. So he's got his third point in his W right now. And his accuracy with the Vel'Koz skill shots was what was so interesting. You see the Q harass going down, just getting it onto back of the minion wave. Sasan playing with a different skin this time, actually. Going for the Battlecast Vel'Koz this time instead of the...
regular Vel'Koz?
No.
Arclight Vel'Koz.
Is that what it's called?
Do you mean like the golden one?
I was going to say Golden Tendrils Vel'Koz.
Golden Tendrils Vel'Koz. That sounds great. Golden Tendrils.
That's what I would name it.
Tendrils of light. Nope, it's Arclight. I don't know why.
What is an arc light anyway?
It's a light that's kind of curvy, I suppose.
A bent light?
Yeah, I suppose.
Is it because it's near a black hole? I don't get it.
Maybe. I mean, that skin, you'd think if it was like arc light or something, he'd have like a prism and he'd shoot like rainbows or something like that.
A prism?
Prism.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think they should make a Vel'Koz skin that is super cute that shoots a rainbow beam.
That would be it.
Like a Care Bear Vel'Koz skin?
Okay. Sure. That sounds
Care
great.
Bear themed. That kind of feel. That's what I would go for.
Something happy.
Yeah, something overly happy.
It's hard to really be like happy and you know, inviting with tentacles. That's the trouble. That's your problem right there. It's tentacles. Whoa, Vivid. Vivid goes in, trying to get that stun onto Fury, and they will not quite land it. Catches there, though. They're trying to bait them farther down the lane.
Yeah, losing out on that trade, actually. Phosphorus Bomb timed so that it would drop after Vivid's Unbreakable was down.
Yeah.
Got to go in.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, they want to get that stun again, and they will land it onto Wraith. Wraith getting very low and no flash. Gives Catch the first blood. They've got Fury low as well. Meanwhile, action in the mid lane. Wow, Sasa knocked back into the river, and here comes Eve to pick up a kill for Samsung. So kills on both sides, but taking out Sasan in the mid lane is much bigger for Samsung.
And Kuve actually came down to gank the lane. So he's trying to use that targeted ability, that targeted route, just to be able to get Sasan. So he finds a time to roam and help out even in the laning phase to start getting Crown ahead. I mean, you have control over the lane, which Maokai can early. You could see Kuve going for the Double Dorn's ring build this game for a little bit of extra punch early. That is a very dangerous situation to be caught in, and a lot of deep wards going in for Samsung. So
now Eve steals the blue there too, which is not good for Sasan. Vel'Koz isn't exactly the most mana efficient champion.
Yep, just targeting the Vel'Koz here.
Yep.
Making sure they can get work done. So even though we see Wraith go down on the bottom side, it is answered instantly by a kill onto the mid lane from Samsung.
Yeah, kill's going to both junglers though. So maybe not giving a huge advantage in a specific lane. It'll be interesting to see what happens though. So far today, the Vel'Koz does not look quite as good.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, Crown was prepared for this eventuality, whereas Faker probably was not. So.
It's hard to have Faker in a situation where he's the one surprised about his mid lane opponent pick.
Indeed. And just this major focus by SBENU on the bottom side of the map has made it so that the jungle help from Samsung definitely a lot better for their mid laner. Meanwhile, Sassen's been a little bit on an island here, though he does have some decent wards on the bottom side.
Well, blue buff going to be given over to Crown, it looks like, too. And that'll be a nice edge for him to have the blue buff in a lane against Sassen without that blue buff.
Yeah, this is surprised that we didn't actually see Samsung go a little bit more aggressive after that kill besides just taking the blue buff. They haven't made any real headway into the bottom side of the map. It's just doing a little bit of trading, and Nuclear will absorb the Phosphorus Bomb with his spell shield. They should know that Evelyn is there and waiting, so Eve just going to hold off for a minute, see if he needs to come over the wall and make a play. Nuclear and Vivid walking up. This is a bit risky.
It is. Looks like he's walking into the river, but SBENU's well warded in bot, so Nuclear and Vivid won't really be surprised by any of this. They will be seen going into the river, though, by Samsung's brush ward.
Yeah, he's just trying to find an opportunity to get some more wards and start playing with vision on the bottom side right now, because but there's really nothing he can do by himself. He has to bail immediately after one attack as Sassen comes through.
Yeah, Sassen's still doing a decent amount of damage. He's got that Fiendish Codex now. And he's still got that good wave clear, which is keeping his turret from taking too much damage, even if he is a little bit behind on CS.
Yeah, he needs to play a little bit more aggressively to make sure that Eve can never take control over the bottom side of the river, because that's where they have all of this wave clear and the capability of pushing right now. Meanwhile, Samsung has a better hold over the top side, because Hecarim just needs some items to really get going, and until that point, Maokai just going to be a little bit ahead in the top lane, and so just you can't really make the plays up in topside if you're SBENU right now. You don't have the crowd control to kill the Maokai. So that's why we're seeing the jungle divided up like this, with Samsung mostly on the top side. But that means that SBENU really has to control the blue buff of Samsung as it comes up the next time.
Yeah, it's kind of been the opposite so far. Oh, Sassen's ready to blast off. There he goes.
No, he just stayed.
Team Sassen is blasting off again. Well, they're controlling the top side anyway.
Yep, that's what they could do. That's where they have the pressure. I mean, both junglers playing this pretty properly right now, pretty respectfully, all things considered. And SBENU is using the fact that they have so much information and so many wards to make a very good play on this turret. They've been slowly chipping it down. So SBENU playing this out quite nicely, even though they had that early death onto their mid laner. They are trying to snowball their bottom lane's edge. And they're doing it while Corki is still relatively weak in this game.
Yeah, they've got him pushed back way under turret now. In fact, Fury came very close to dying a few minutes ago. Still a pretty passive game across the board overall so far.
Oh yeah, it's just, this is the safe way to play League of Legends, the way the junglers are moving right now. They're minimizing the risk, trying to maximize their advantages, and it's all about who's going to get those edges on which side of the map. Right now, it looks like SBENU's getting the better end of the deal.
Well, they were able to do a lot of damage to that bottom lane turret, so maybe they'll be able to claim that. And that would be big, too, because you mentioned, they need to control the bottom side of the map, and if they can get that turret, it'll help a lot.
Wow, so actually right now, the bottom is going to recall. Sassen has to ward because he knows that Samsung is a possible timing. Azir was just doing the Raptors. They may have thought that Azir recalled instead, but now they realize that there is a timing window here for Samsung to go after the Dragon, and they should just do it.
Yeah, they aren't starting it yet.
Well, they had a really good opportunity just to do the Dragon, and they decided not to, even though Azir was moving that minion wave back towards SBENU's mid lane turret. So Definitely could have made an impact there, especially since Soar really doesn't have anything. And Kube had finished his Righteous Glory, so advantage to him in the top side. So missed opportunity from Samsung.
Yep, pretty much. Samsung is really getting a nice little CS lead here in the top and mid as well. Just overall, it seems like there's sort of a slow sort of pressure building by Samsung that's going to explode into enough of an item lead in a little bit to start to do some major damage to SBENU.
Yep, and then also SBENU getting their blue buff this time around. That is another point where you could say that Samsung had a chance to get some pressure and actually invade the jungle, set up some more deep wards, but they missed the timing. And now there's a counterplay available if Eve wants to go over to the enemy blue. That is certainly a possibility at the moment, especially since they control the bottom side of the map. And Evelyn should definitely be looking at that. I don't know why neither of these teams wants to even poke into enemy blue, because they're kind of getting away with it right now, because Nuclear and Vivid could easily walk up to help out at that blue buff at the moment.
That's kind of surprising. Both teams seem kind of very hesitant to commit to anything risky at all, you know?
It's not risky. Like that's the point. Is that there's very little risk there. Given what we've seen, there was very little risk for Samsung doing Dragon. There was very little risk for them to at least just poke into blue and see if they could get anything done while Maokai has the glory. So just a lot of really missed opportunities, really.
Well, an opportunity on to Vivid, getting extremely low, extremely fast, and that's an easy pick. Wow. Nice hook for Wraith, but they really had everything they needed there.
Yep, had the pink ward in the brush, so very easy lane gank coming in from Eve.
Now they can do a dragon.
Now they could definitely do a dragon, and that is what they're going to get done.
Should. There is a ward there, so SBENU will know this is going on. But see if there's anything they can really do about it. I'd imagine Sassen is probably just going to push up mid lane.
Yep, not a lot of counterplay there. Can't even really feasibly get any kind of smite steal just because Evelyn would have no way out of that situation.
Yep. And so just like that, Samsung gaining a little early lead. Wow, and Kube forces the ult out of Sword just to escape.
Yeah, and Sword, you know, he is going to have problems with this Maokai early. He needs to get the Trinity Force complete and start actually dealing damage to effectively trade. This is just Hecarim. Hecarim doesn't really ramp up until he gets 2-3 items in.
Yeah, true enough. And unfortunately for him, his farming has been a little bit on the slow side as well, too, this game. So that point is going to take even longer to get there now.
Well, he is a rookie. That's somewhat understandable.
It's only his first game in the booth.
I'm sad we didn't see any teleports because I was curious whether Soar was actually a better TP user than Sol had been, because that was a major problem for SBENU over the course of the season so far, is being very late to teleport plays in the bottom side.
Well, last time Vivid just died so fast there was no time to really react even.
Indeed. Well, first dragon down. SBENU starting to run out of steam where they were doing well before, and we haven't seen Sassen really dominate that mid lane matchup like he did against Faker. Crown doing a much better job of handling Sassen's Vel'Koz pick. He's coming back. I mean, the pink ward's still there. Why not just try it again?
Well, I guess Crown's just a better player than Faker.
That's the only possible conclusion that I can come to.
I think that'd be a pretty common one, you know. I mean, if Sassen's Vel'Koz beat Faker's Azir, but Crown's Azir beats Sassen's Vel'Koz, then it's time to kill Vivid again. Walks right into the death sentence, gets killed. Meanwhile, Catch comes down to try to do something about it. Can't make a difference, though. That's the second time that same gank has worked now.
Well, it's been set up very well by Samsung, to be fair, and Catch was also there, so there was less risk in terms of his positioning, but just a vision blackout. Samsung has turned this bottom lane around, where all the vision used to be going for SBENU. Samsung realized that they had to protect this turret and gain control, so they start focusing on that bottom side. Eve starts coming down there, ganking, getting the deep wards in, and it's working very effectively. And you'll notice that they did this right when Fury hit his power spike, when he was starting to, after he was level 6, when he built this Trinity Force now. So they're in a very good timing just to bully this lane as the matchup turns around. Oh, geez.
Oh, boy. Vivid caught again. Wow, this is not a good game for Vivid. And here we go, Fury over the wall with the Valkyrie. Ult comes up from Vivid. He actually escapes. No, he doesn't. Crown's going to be able to finish him off. They'll get a kill there. Meanwhile, more action down the bottom jungle, and there's the ult from Sasin. He's firing his laser. Crown goes down to Soar, though, who ults right back in for the double kill. Nearly a triple. One picked up by Catch. Eve manages to grab one himself as well. Kuve trying to disengage so Eve can get away. Oh boy, on the run. Soar chasing him, though. That Hecarim's pretty fast. Going to push Kuve right back in. And Kuve, wow, flashes over for the kill on Sauce, and you got a little bit too close there, buddy.
And where's the parallel convergence? There it is.
Gets the
He's
stun
on
onto Nuclear. It comes in. Nuclear does go down. And Soar still looking pretty scary on this Hecarim, but can he catch anyone? He goes after Kuve, who may be able to get back to the mid turret. He does. Eve, though, wants this kill. Time Winder used, but doesn't have the damage. Well, that was about a fight that I was expecting today. Wow, that was long, man. That was a long fight.
I don't really know what to say about that. So basically, there was a catch on Vivid that started that whole thing off, but Fury really didn't have a lot of mana, and Fury and Wraith found themselves bottled up inside the Brambleback pit.
Yeah.
The party in the Bramble pit was real. All right, so let's take a look at this. So there's the stun, actually does come down, but Eve gets stunned at the same time. Now Vivid going to barely get out. The crowd goes all in and flashes actually to get over. Now look at this, he just eats a full channel. He can't do anything because he used his abilities already. And actually, he could have ulted. That was a great TP from Soar, though.
Yeah.
Eve going to get another parallel convergence stun off, and it's now just Kuve and Soar cleaning up. And Eve did a good job of getting out of that fight, too. He held on to his chrono break for a really long time, was able to use his Rangers onto the Scuttle Crab to get some more healing at the end also. So Eve did well in that fight. Everybody else, even Soar, were the heroes, but Vivid just going to check that brush. Maybe a little bit tired of dying so much this game.
Yeah, died 3 times so far. The face check's gonna be real. Whoa, Crown! That's how you handle a Vel'Koz. Let's get right in its face. Man.
Show it who's boss.
I guess so. Jeez.
Sasin, no heal that time.
Well, why didn't Faker just do that? And they're gonna get the mid lane turret really easily too.
Well, look at Crown. He is actually going for a fast death cap this game.
Yeah.
And so he just wants that big burst damage. And that's what he's going to get. You know,
wow,
we don't
2
see
turrets just like that.
We don't see a lot of Azir's built this way, but this particular build, Vel'Koz with a low amount of HP, is vulnerable to a combo like that.
Yeah. And if somebody gets on top of you and you're Vel'Koz, you're just dead. That's just how it is. Oh, tried to catch with the parallel conversion. Why do you have to name himself that? Oh, manages to get the red buff, though. Smote it away. But the dragon looks like it will be going to Samsung. Unless Catch feels like flashing in for the steal, which I doubt. Yep, easy dragon. This Azir is doing a ton of damage already.
Yep, and that is very scary. The Azir had a preferable laning phase, now just has the death cap for maximum AP gains and that big burst damage. Kuve also very far ahead, working on his Frozen Heart at the moment, which is going to help him immensely against the Sivir and the Hecarim.
Yeah. You know, we didn't see a whole lot of the 1v1 in mid lane, but when we did, it really looked like Crown was doing a very good job of dodging the skill shots from Sasin today. So I don't know if that's Sasin just being off on his skill shots or Crown just being really on his dodging, but either way, worked out for Crown today.
I think Crown prepared heavily for this matchup.
Could be. There we go. Knock up onto Kuve. Eve escaping as well there. Kuve, can he get back to the turret? That turret does not have a lot of health. I don't think it's going to help him too much. It does not. And Catch able to help Nuclear pick up that kill. They're just going to go right back in for the turret.
Uh-oh, parallel convergence. Here comes Azir.
Yep. Not going to save the turret, but Crown coming down with a lot of damage. Got to be careful, though. Nuclear taking some himself.
Yeah, Vel'Koz was there. They knew it. They had the Scuttle Crab in the river to see Sasin's movement onto the bottom lane, and that's going to be it. So a nice tower push there by SBENU, grouping up and just making sure they pushed off Kuve. Kuve without the flash wasn't able to escape, and Fury not exactly putting on the same amount of pressure on the top side, so Samsung doesn't answer with much.
Yeah, true enough. Well, Luden's picked up now for Sasin. His second item has been achieved.
2 Frozen Hearts done on Samsung. They are in such a good position to fight at the moment.
Yeah, they really have nothing to worry about from Sivir and Hecarim at the moment.
But the Locket's done from Catch also, and considering that Samsung has majority AP damage, that's going to be very efficient. So we'll see how long it takes Eve to get a Locket to try and deal with this Vel'Koz. Fury very overextended without wards, but at least he has a Thresh Lantern to save him.
Yep, no problems there. About a 5,000 gold lead right now for Samsung, which is large, but it's not like insurmountable by SBENU.
Especially with the scaling that they have. We've seen how scary this Vel'Koz can get in the late game. Now, he has died 3 times. Obviously, he's incredibly far behind, but he likes to go for this kind of slow burn build with the Liandry's Torment.
Right. Wow, Abyssal Scepter just straight up bought by Crown just now.
He had a lot of money.
Yeah, Fury's got his Blade of the Rune King as well, too, so Samsung really starting to pull ahead in the item department.
Eve has been playing very well this game. I mean, his parallel convergences during some of these team fights have been definitely on point, looking confident on the Echo. You know, a lot of Korean teams were saying, well, on 5.12, no one's going to play Echo anymore. Well, he doesn't have enough damage, I feel, any longer. Well, let me rephrase that. He doesn't have enough reliable damage. If you can hit Chrono Break, sure, it's great, but you're very rarely actually going to be using that ability to deal damage. So, in the case of his passive nerfs and everything else, I think it's not so good to play him as a high damage mid laner when there are just so many other options in the mid lane at the moment. But as a jungler, he does still offer some insane utility if you're good with your W.
Yeah, true enough.
You can't really turn your nose up at one of the best shields and stuns in the game.
Yeah, especially when it's coming generally unseen from a bush. As you'd hope it would if you were playing jungle Echo.
Yeah, and the nice thing too is he still does, even though his passive was toned down, even if you build full tank, he still does, you know, a decent amount of damage at the very least.
Yeah. True enough. Now, SBENU's been able to push back a little bit here and take another turret up in top lane themselves. There's still 4K gold down. But maybe, just maybe, they can start to get the ball rolling again here. Start to get a bit of momentum back. But this next dragon is coming up, and I don't know if SBENU's going to be in a position to really fight this.
Yeah, Samsung, they have all the advantages right now. They really should just start baiting the Baron right after this dragon. They've done a good job of making sure they get a large number of wards onto the top side. So what SBENU should do is just try and clear out the wards around the Baron now while SBENU is doing that dragon, and then move on from there and see if they can extend the game into 6-item territory where this gold lead will not have as much relevance. But fighting right now, probably not the best plan. They're still waiting. The Hecarim needs to like another item just to even really do work here.
Looks like he's pretty close to the Spirit Visage, I suppose, which would be a pretty big pickup for him.
Yeah, it is. But he still has to deal with a lot of physical damage from Fury on the backline. Fury's completed that Blade of the Ruined King, so he's going to cut through the Hecarim pretty easily with that percent HP damage with no real armor on Sword to speak of.
Well, Samsung taking up positions around the dragon right now, getting some wards down, and it looks like SBENU might be able to claim this turret. Nope, not with Wraith and Crown there. I'll do a little bit more damage.
Best they can do is, I think, delay this dragon just a little bit, maybe take out some wards. They will get one pink ward that Eve is not going to be set up to defend. Oh, wow. Nope.
Nah.
Just a zoning convergence.
Parallel divergence. Everybody's just leaving the area instead of coming in.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
Oh, Vivid got caught again. They get the flesh immediately.
No way you can walk right there under that circumstance. That is pretty rookie mistake, to be sure. Kuve's coming in.
Yeah, teleporting from behind. He's got a long way to run, though, but home guard should get him there fairly quickly.
That is a very awkward flank.
I know, yeah. He's like, all right, I'm here, guys. How's the dragon going? Oh, over the wall with the lantern, and that makes a Maokai in a space that SBENU may not have expected, but it doesn't matter. They can't engage onto this Samsung right now. Kuve taking some damage. They hook catch for the moment. Laser doing a lot of damage to Samsung. Here's Hecarim over the top. Can they do enough? Eve getting very low, uses his ult, still goes down to that Vel'Koz. Vivid getting low as well, taken out by Crown. A kill on each side.
Why would you walk into that choke when there is a Vel'Koz on the other team?
It's a very good question.
That was the world's easiest Vel'Koz ultimate to hit. And they just, I mean, SBENU just made that same mistake.
Hello, re-engage. Yeah, that's right. Fury trying to do as much damage as he can, but Catch comes in all over him. They take out Vel'Koz now in a nuclear, who's on the run already. Fury manages to pick off Catch in the back lines as he runs away. And Samsung with a couple quick kills, answering back. And can they just go for this Baron?
Yes, they definitely have enough damage. They have an Azir and a Blade of the Ruined King. They can burn this down very fast for sub 30 minutes into this game.
Sword does not have his ult either, so he's not the biggest threat right now. Nuclear can try to pull a miracle Baron deny, but it's not going to work out. Space, he is not.
Yeah, and extremely difficult to get into that, even though there was no spite. With the ultimates down from SBENU's side, you're just not really going to be able to contest that. Kuve will recall. Massive waves already built up in favor of Samsung.
You know, it's interesting. I feel like we see SBENU finding picks here and there and taking advantages, but then they just kind of leave themselves open to just getting counter-engaged on so hard every time.
Well, it's hard for them not to get engaged on there, especially with how well Eve is playing Echo this game. They have a lot of options for the engage, and Kuve's managed to find the right targets. We've seen Kuve deliver on this Maokai before. He's having a great game.
Yeah. And that's kind of been Kuve's season, has been Maokai Hecarim over and over and over again. And doing pretty well on both.
And the occasional first pick Shen.
Yep, that's not so great, but
and top Rek'Sai. He does well in top Rek'Sai too.
Yeah, it's okay. Overall, I'd say Kuve with a much stronger season this time than spring.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely.
Well, Vivid taking some more damage. Eve trying to go into the parallel convergence, but he's not going to be able to get quite close enough. A little bit too risky there. Just get some deep wards down and try to focus down to this tier 2 that Fury is pushing.
Very clean textbook play on how to close out with this Baron. The waves are already prepped. They're shoving all 3 lanes. Eve is now down here just to make sure that his AD carry is going to be relatively safe. Nothing that really can be done about Kuve's presence in top.
I guess not. Just split pushing. And that's a lot of damage onto that turret. Kuve doesn't even care about Soar right now. Wow. They'll just be able to take out the turret, no problem. Catch trying to come from behind, though.
Yeah, they want that flank
coming in from SBENU. They're going to lose the turret, though, yeah, so that kind of takes away the opportunity for the flank, doesn't it?
Well, SBENU is just floundering right now. They just keep losing turrets. They lost both turrets right there, and there wasn't any kind of attack. They couldn't decide exactly where they wanted to pull the trigger. But you can't just sit there and try and trade evenly with a team that has Baron while you do not have it. Meanwhile, Kuve just healing up a huge amount from his passive. That's the problem. Hecarim is constantly just spamming that Q to clean out the wave. And when he does that, the passive just comes up all the time for Maokai.
Certainly does help a little bit, doesn't it? Nope, he's back. Sassen's right there as well, too, but
this
just helping
is just
clear out the wave.
Incredibly poor base defense from SBENU.
Yeah. Wow, Crown just walking up and taking half of the inhibitor turret's health away by himself, which is not something you generally see in Azir be able to do.
Yeah. Crown's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Well, looks like Samsung's had enough, even though they were getting really close to cracking the base. The Baron buff falling off, they decide that it's time just to turn around and go home, set up for the next dragon, which will be number 4, and then see if they can close out from there. I think they could have pushed a little harder in the mid lane, personally. They still had the Azir turret just to back him up and prevent any kind of flanks from catch. So the 4-1 Could still have been viable, but this is definitely the safer choice.
Well, better safe than sorry, I suppose. And SBENU takes the Grump.
Yeah, what's annoying about that kind of play, though, is that the Dragon was far enough from spawning, and you have control over all 3 lanes, that it doesn't matter. Even if you die right there, you can still play more aggressively because everybody's going to be back up by the time an objective spawns. There's no way that SBENU is going to be taking any turrets off of that either. So why not just try and play aggressively and see if you can end the game faster rather than letting SBENU get another item or 2, which may help to turn this game around. It's a little questionable, I think.
Well, Samsung in a great position to grab this 4th Dragon, though. Either way. We'll see, though. Still a lot of damage from Sassen. He's got the Void Staff now, too, so that's going to be a nice boost.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure that really is going to be the most helpful for him. He's going to have to get off some incredible combo to do work against Samsung. Maybe he'll get it, though.
Maybe. Well, if anything, a Dragon's a good opportunity because of how grouped up people are, but it doesn't look like SBENU's even going to contest this one. Catch is there. But where's everybody else? Nuclear nowhere nearby. Oh, they do catch Sassen, though. A lot of damage coming in. They bring in Crown, but can they do enough damage? There's a laser. Everybody in chokeman. Oh, they knock him up, though, to cancel the channel. And Crown able to get that kill onto Sassen. Vivid goes in, dies immediately. And Samsung pushing ahead. They might be able to claim an inhibitor off of this. Whoa, they lose Eve, though. Gotta be careful. And Soar comes back through, pushes Crown into the wall, gets shoved back by the Emperor's Divide, but gets the kill anyway. Nuclear grabs him himself before the double kill comes in for Fury. And Samsung, it was messy, but still coming out with the fight win. Not going to be able to get any turrets just yet, though. Maybe now, though.
They can on this next wave, for sure. Just waiting for the cannon minion to get there. Certainly Fury has the damage to go ahead and melt through the rest of this turret with some ease, and they have time to get the inhibitor before Sassen comes back also. So they finally take that out. Then they can just go back, set up for another Baron, and then push to the definitive win. So Samsung trying to play aggressively again. They did force the face check onto the Thresh, and then Kuve's been doing a great job this game of locking down the Vel'Koz. I was skeptical because I wanted a backup plan in case Kuve couldn't do the work, but Kuve has made Sassen's life a living hell this entire time, and you really see the difference between Vel'Koz was played against the Mundo and Olaf when there was a Jarvan on his team just to bottle him up in Cataclysm, and Catch did a great job against SKT of keeping those 2 champions away from Sassen, but there's no way to stop the Maokai here. So, much harder.
Oh, they caught Eve going in onto him. He dashes over the wall. Can they follow? Looks like they can, but they won't.
Could ult it over the wall, but not really worth it when you know this Baron is coming up in 15 seconds to use the ult right there when Echo is very slippery.
Well, Kuve does need to walk all the way up for that one. He does not have teleport at the moment. And Samsung just getting ready for this next Baron. Pretty easy stuff.
Yep, they do want to bait it first, it seems. I think they should just start it. And now they know that it is not being done currently. So they'll just turn around onto it after that.
Oh, here comes Catch, though. Oh, right back into him. Nice play from Crown. That was beautiful. They grab Vivid immediately, take him down as well, too. And there is nothing that SBENU can do. Wow, what a great turnaround from Samsung.
Crown's Azir mechanics were so fluid to set that up. Remember, that was just movement on the soldiers. He didn't flash for that wall. It was just super fast reflexes to get Catch into the rest of the team, prevent any kind of steal. Very ready for the face check into Baron, as they should have been. And now this should be it, as Samsung begins their final assault, one would assume.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, SBENU will have everybody up, so maybe they can win like a desperation team fight, but so much siege. These turrets are going to die almost instantly, and I don't think they can take him in a fight, so Samsung should be able to finish it here.
Yep, just going to wait for those super minions to start moving towards the Nexus turrets. Maybe they can hold off with their wave clear. Of course, they do have the Vel'Koz and the Sivir, so that's a pretty convincing amount of wave clear, but at the same time, Samsung going for the methodical win, the triple inhibitors.
Oh, they caught Catch. Catch in a lot of trouble getting knocked back by that Arcane Smash taken out. Nice play for Hecarim. Gets him pushed away. And Kube going in low health anyway, but they're still going to catch Sora and take him out. Nice Vel'Koz laser, but it only nearly kills Kube. Doesn't actually kill Kube.
And guess what? Kube will be back in a jiffy. Just going to go home. Those home guard boots. And now who is left? Nuclear has to take out these super minions. There's going to be another wave with super minions crashing into the top side very soon. Oh, wow. Crown.
It's going to be tough. Yep, there goes the last inhibitor turret and the last inhibitor. Now there's just nothing that SBENU can do to stop Samsung from coming in and ending this. Kube with time to walk all the way back up the lane too. Doesn't have the teleport, but he didn't even need it.
Here he comes.
Yep, that's right. There goes the Nexus turret number 1. The last desperation engage onto Kube doesn't really do a whole lot. Catch tries to make a play onto Wraith, who loses a big chunk of his hit points, but he's okay for now. Sasson just firing from the back lines, but doesn't really find an opportunity. And they're running away. This could be it. Sor trying to come in from the side, trying to get some sort of flank, but he just gets vaporized very, very quickly. Fury, wow, actually Valkyring in for the aggressive damage. Lots onto Vivid. Goodbye. Double kill for Fury. Already, he has played great this game. Oh, they grab Sasson as well, too. Another nice Azir play to knock him back into Samsung, and they will end this one in style. GG.
Wow, I was really impressed, actually, with the skirmishing. There was that one sloppy fight on the red buff, but besides that, the Crown and Wraith were really doing a lot of work in that game to set up kills and chain their crowd control together. Samsung, very convincing win. Crown really comes out with a great game. Kube doing so much work, having some pretty nice teleports and getting onto those priority targets. So,
you know, I do have to say on the SBENU side of things, I liked what Sor was trying to do in some of those fights with Hecarim. I mean, he had some pretty good teleports, but he was just too far behind. You know?
I mean, the teleports that Sor got were actually much better